Hey everybody, it's Romania Black. We're on episode 18 of JuJutsu Kaisen, and oh my gosh. So, last episode was all about the girls, like all centered around Miwa and Maki and Nobara and Mai and the new character Mei, and just getting in everybody was getting around in. Urahime had a few lines. It was just, and then I cannot for the life of me remember the blonde girl that looks like the snobby witch from Kiki's Delivery Service. I want to just call her Kiki, but I know that's wrong. But it was so good. Like last episode, so good. The animation, the action, like everything was on point. The backstory with the two Zenin sisters, the introduction of clans, that there's 3 main Jujutsu clans of sorcerers, and Fushiguro is somehow related to the Zenin clan in some way, shape, or form. So all that is super interesting to me. I'm a big genealogy person, so we get to talk about family bloodlines and things. I'm like, oh yes. So I'm super excited to see what happens this episode, because the preview is showing us Fushiguro's match and also Inumaki, who has the mouth curse. So I want backstory on him and how this whole thing works, and I want backstory on Fushiguro, because Fushiguro is clearly going to be a big player in this series, because Sukuna has already stated that the only person he cares about, not even Yuji, not even his vessel, he's like, whatever, but Sukuna cares about Fushiguro for some reason. He's holding a torch for him. I want to know why. And it looked like Mahito was in the preview too. It's all gonna fall apart, and it's like we've had this tournament and it's all gonna go to hell in a handbasket. So I'm curious to see how it does. So thank you all so much for watching. I'm really excited to see what happens, and we are going to start episode 18 of JuJutsu Kaisen here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Oh, jumping jack flash, black flash. What are we doing? Oh my gosh. So, yeah. Holy cow. Whew. Y'all, this was a lot to unpack. I feel like the last couple episodes have been great, and they've been giving us backstory on all of Kyoto's sister school, and we finished up our sister school exchange event data on Team B with Como and his backstory, which we're going to talk about him and Fushiguro and Como. But now that we've got everybody's backstory, we know everybody's powers, how they all work, we're going to set these final 6 episodes into motion. And we just got 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 45. We got 7 episodes left. But it's like the last 4th in motion, and holy cow, y'all. So, okay, let's break this down. First of all, the 3 clans, interesting. So they got the Zenin clan, you got the Kamo clan, and there's a 3rd one that we don't know yet. I find it interesting. So Kamo basically is what he's saying is that his mother was an outsider, and he was not the chosen. It's kind of like he's a bastard child, basically. Como is basically saying that his dad fooled around and messed with this other woman, and she had him, but he inherited. So they have, apparently there's inherited jujitsu traits and techniques that can be inherited throughout the generations. And so for Kamo, he inherited the blood manipulation, even though he's like the bastard child. And so even though the clan doesn't want to admit it, they're like, we need you. And that juxtaposition of him as a child and them being like, we don't accept you as a proper clan member because your mom isn't one of us, juxtaposed with after he gets the jujitsu technique, and he's like, why do I have to be clan leader? And they're like, well, even though we kind of messed you up as a kid and told you were a bastard child, you're the only one that inherited the technique, so you've got to take over. So he's in this weird place of these people have just made him the clan leader because he has the technique. And he gives the comment that Fushiguro's inherited the Zenin technique, which is summoning these 10 animals. They can summon up to 10 animals as Shishigami. And he's like, it's an inherited technique, and Fushiguro has inherited it. And he makes the comment, I wish that Maki or Mai would have inherited it, but neither of them did. And Fushiguro makes the comment that he's no longer connected to the Zenin clan. So I'm wondering then, we've established earlier on that he doesn't seem to care for his dad at all. Like, he made that comment that he hates his dad gave him the name Megumi because it's a girl's name, and he's pretty much severed ties with his father. Like, he doesn't interact with him. So that leads me to believe that the mom was a Fushiguro, and so he's just taken his mother's name, and that's what he's going by. I could be wrong. It could be reversed, but the fact that he's not on good terms with his father and that he wants to sever ties with the Zenin clan makes me believe that the mom was a Fushiguro and he just took her name and stuck with that and was like, forget that. But he inherited the trait. So Komo's trying to say that we are the same, you and I, and Fushiguro's like, no, you're saying some weird stuff. We're not. But the blood manipulation is crazy. That's a funky thing. A funky technique to use. So Inumaki getting a lot of action this episode. Using the speech curse is so crazy, and him using it. But Hanami, the curse, that voice actor has such a sweet and timid voice, but it's this curse that's like, I got kind of like Full Metal Alchemist Scar vibes from him when he was talking about at first, and then once he got to the point where he's like, the earth would be better off just without people, and it's like, oh, I mean, you're not wrong, but and I love that line that Hanami says, like, all you want is time. Like, you don't care about anything else. You just want time for yourselves. And it's like, oh. And that's kind of true. And I'm wondering if Hanami is going to get connected to Yuji. Because looking at the ED in this second half, in the second core, time is literally all Yuji has. Like, once he collects all of the fingers, they're going to execute him. So he really just has time. And it's what he's doing with it. And how many people can he save in that amount of time. So that's literally it. And that's a really good theme that I think I'd be interested to see in the OP. So much stuff from the OP came to light this episode in the weirdest ways. So that big old elephant. So we saw the giant tree-looking thing in the OP. That's from Hanami, clearly. We've seen the elephant, which is now one of the Shishigami that Fushiguro has. And then this old geezer, this guitar in the OP. I've been thinking this entire time that it was Toto. I thought it was Toto this entire time playing the guitar, because that seems like something Toto would do. He'd just jam out on the guitar. It's the old man. So, I mean, time-wise, if this is modern times, I don't know. I don't know how old the elder is. And he's got this, like, black t-shirt on. I'm like, does he become younger when he uses the guitar and gathers up all this cursed energy? What, are we going to do, like, a reverse Master Yoshi thing? I don't know. But I did not expect that he would be the one with the guitar. I didn't even know it was in the case. I thought it was like a gun or a weapon or something. But no, it's a damn guitar. I'm curious to see what Udahime does. In the OP, she's just looking around and her back is to us. So I don't know what that means, what her abilities are. And then Mei is using the birds outside, obviously for surveillance. But this whole barrier, the cursed user, I have a feeling the cursed user is going to go down against the old man. Because we've got to build up the old man to be a threat, right? Like, he's one of the elders, one of the leaders. We've got to establish that he's a problem. So this would be the way to do it. So, yeah. Huh. That just floored me. I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, so I'm curious. He basically, the cursed user with the axe, put this barrier down. I'm assuming it was given to him. And my question is I'm assuming Mahito is not in the barrier. I'm assuming that he is outside the barrier. And I wonder if him and Geto are going to try to get Gojo. If him and Geto are going to try to imprison him. Because I don't think they can kill him. But I'm going to wonder if they're going to try to imprison him. That would be bad. But yeah, so, we've still got all these episodes left, but we're ramping up to the finale of this season, or at least that's what I think we're doing. And at least next episode, it looks like next episode that we're going to get facing Hanami, and Toto's going to get involved, and Yuji's going to get involved, and this whole time Yuji and Toto have been training on this new technique. So is he going to bust that out and try to use it during this battle? That would be fun. But yeah, holy cow. Y'all, this was a good episode. This whole second half of the core, this whole series has been really good so far, but ever since the Kyoto exchange event started, this has been one of my favorite episodes. Like, I've liked all the others, but this one setting everything into motion, it's like, ooh. And we're just getting little crumbs of story, like little crumbs with Fushiguro, little crumbs with Inumaki, little crumbs with Gojo, with little tiny crumbs of the lore of the setup. Like, I love that this series isn't giving all of it. It's not giving us all the exposition at once. It's just slowly building the intrigue and giving us little pieces that we can try to piece together ourselves. And then it's going to give us more. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. So, I'm curious though. The one thing about this that made me go, is that Geto's a curse user, right? Geto's a curse user. But when Hanami talked to Fushiguro and Kamo and Inumaki, his speech was reversed, but then it switched over to where they could understand him, like he translated it for him. Kind of like a TARDIS Doctor Who thing where it translates. But when he talked to Geto, it didn't turn around. So was that just like a stylistic thing that the show didn't want to give it away from the beginning? Or is there something else there? Just crossed my mind. So, I don't know. No spoilers, please. I'm not a manga reader for the series. A big part of me wants to, but I'm like, no. I want to see what happens first in this series before I dive into that. I'm sure it's one of those things with this series that I'm sure they're going to have a season 2. Like, this show's been really popular, and so I'm certain that they're going to make a season 2. So I don't want to read the manga because I'm like, I love seeing it in this format since I'm starting with it fresh. But, oh my gosh, you guys. What the heck? JuJutsu Kaisen. So yeah, I'm curious your thoughts down below. Please no spoilers. But yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys thought of the episode. I hope you all enjoyed the reactions. And yeah, next week, Black Flash. Episode 19 of JuJutsu Kaisen. Have a wonderful week. Please stay safe. Take care. And I'll talk to y'all again really soon.